Today's episode is rated FV for fantasy violence and brought to you by overprotective parents everywhere and sponsored by Water Brand Water. Yum, it's water. I am the Lizard King.
Look out, he's got a knife, and then you turn to the camera, I have a knife.
Well, folks, it's Tux Martini, and guess what day it is? Rant Day. While at work the other day, I was thinking to myself, man, I like the Ninja Turtles. Then I remembered how the second movie kinda sucked, and it's because of overprotective parents. Now, if you grew up in the generation of the 80s and 90s, it was more or less a marvelous generation. I'll refer to my video hashtag BringBack90s Weekends. But yeah, great shows, great movies for the most part. I mean, then, you know, some things happened with parents. I decided that everything was bad. You know, Ninja Turtles bad, Barney is apparently the devil, and Power Rangers, you know, Satanists. It was a heck of a time, I can tell you. For those of you that had those overprotective parents, you know, I'm sorry, your childhood sucked dinosaur balls. And growing up now, if you have those parents, yeah, your childhood's gonna suck dinosaur balls. But that's not the point of it. Well, it is kind of the point of it, but, you know, it's drawing the fine line. I'm too young / too old to be a parent, and I can't say what I would do if I had a kid, but, you know, where do you draw the line? Like, come on, Ninja Turtles, of course they have weapons, but you're gonna take out the weapon use in the whole second movie because it's too violent? Newsflash, they're 6-foot turtles. They don't exist in the real world. You know, this is kind of a outdated newsflash, but for those of you overprotective parents out there, yeah, it's all fake. It's all smoke and mirrors. Sorry, kids who are watching this, but you're gonna learn soon enough. But I was just thinking how some parents cross the line when it comes to raising their kids. Like I said, I don't have a parent, you know, to debate this with, but I'm sure there's some sort of line. Like, how do you base your facts? You know, that Barney is the devil, or Power Rangers are Satanists, or Ninja Turtles are just flat out evil. Incidentally, those guys on the aforementioned list are good guys. They bring peace and justice and harmony and love. You know. But, more to my point, Ninja Turtles was a great series, but they killed the movie. I mean, the second one. The first movie was great, but, you know, you're going to take out weapon use and use sausages. You're going to tell me you have an issue with a 6-foot turtle swinging katanas, or you have no issue with a guy addicted to shrooms lighting animals on fires and stomping them with his size 9s. Contradictory. But even again, I think some parents had issues with that, and that's just silly. I mean, at the end of it, folks, it's all a game. It's all in make-believe land. I don't think anyone, well, you know, most people are not going to act out, you know, levels from video games. And, you know, with parents that, you know, do restrict that, your kids are going to be like, well, I'm going to rebel. And then, you know, that leads to poor grades and doing drugs and them ending up in jail. Which, kids, I don't recommend you follow that path, because jail is an ugly place. You don't want to end there. I mean, but I can understand where you're coming from. Like, you think your parents are stupid, you know, for not letting you watch Power Rangers. Granted, I agree that's kind of a stupid decision, but, you know, they are your parents. But there's also the fine line. Part of growing up is learning the rules and learning when and how to break them. Like, sneaking out at midnight to go catch a movie with some pretty young thing. That's not too bad, but, you know, sneaking out at midnight, getting up with some pretty young thing, and then doing cocaine off her butt. Not so good because that could lead to diseases and imprisonment. Forget the imprisonment. Just think of the diseases, dude. Like, it's gonna fall off, man. Just, it's, yeah, bad. Don't do that. Anywho, you know, like I said, my parents were cool. You know, kinda. And, you know, I'm not saying parents everywhere are evil, because they're not. More or less, they know what they're doing. You know, they might do it in quote-unquote unorthodox ways. They're just trying to keep you safe, but in the long run, I don't think anyone can keep you safe. I mean, not even yourself, because you're going to come across some situations and scenarios that are just, like, really difficult, you know? Part of growing up, but a hand up for everyone who's had that overprotective parent, you know? I didn't. I was lucky. I kind of wish I... Well, no, I don't wish I did, because I would have ended up, you know, in prison, maybe. And, just going on the course of history, like, think of all the parents ever that have banned things, you know? I think, you know, someone had invented the, parental advisory rating for CDs. More than likely a parent, I think. And, you know, the whole television rating system, which is cockamamie if you think about it. You're really gonna put ratings on kid shows like Y7 Fantasy Violence, which is the title of this little video. I think that's just common sense. I mean, sure, for the parents out there, you don't want your kids imitating like karate kung fu moves with swords, but you know, whether they watch it from TV or their friends, they're gonna imitate it. And that's where you go into constructive parenting. You know, sign your kid up for a karate class rather than banning the whole thing outright, because they're gonna rebel. Like, you can't stop them. They'll find a way. And I know you're thinking to yourself, this guy doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. He's not a parent. Wait till he has kids. Well, for one, joke's on you. I don't think I'm having kids. And for two, I was a kid myself, so I know what I'm talking about. I mean, you hand me a jump rope and tell me not to tie it to a second-story banister and swing to a tree. Yeah, I'm gonna go tie a jump rope to a second-story banister and swing to a tree, then have the fire department rescue me. Not my best decision in life, but I was like 5 and I saw Batman and played Legend of Zelda, so, you know, the whole grappling hook thing got into me. Like, my defense, it was a good idea at the time, but that just circles back to my point, is like, you can't stop a kid. They'll find a way. And kids these days are pretty ingenious. I mean, I think it's always been that way. We were the master of improvisation, you know, at getting things in, getting what we want, and getting what we, you know, what we want done. You know, I mean, I never really snuck out all that much. I more or less had permission, because my parents were like, cool. Parents are still cool. They support me, even at this age. But, yeah, if they told me not to do something, I did it anyway. And that's what got me into trouble. But my point is, yeah, even if you tell them no, they're going to find a way to say yes. They'll either get you to say yes, or they'll do it independently. So, you know, I know it's a bit too late. This is like, what, 20 years in the making? Yeah, don't put stupid ratings on things. I mean, I know back in the day, like, Mortal Kombat was the hugest issue. Like, by the way, that was a great game. Fantastic game. I had a heck of a time trying fatalities. Like, every time I pulled one off was by sheer luck. They censored the SNES version, you know, with sweat, which kind of was stupid. But, you know, again, I see where that's coming from. But still, like, it's called Mortal Kombat. You know there's going to be blood. And, you know, I think the developers put in the blood cheat for the SNES version, which was cool. That's a nice way to get back at people, like Kid and Little Jim. Cheat codes. I think it's all common sense. Like, use your best judgment, parents, and use your best judgment, kids. I mean, kids, yeah, better judgment's kind of a semantics, I think, and somewhat of an oxymoron, but, you know, you're somewhat smart-ish. I'm not trying to say you're dumb, no. Kids are smart. Like I said, they were brilliant, and we were. And with technology the way it is, they're going to get smarter and smarter and eventually rule the world or create the robots that will rule the world. That's a scary thought. What is it? Oh yeah, common sense. Common sense, yeah. If a game like has a name like Murderous Dead Blood Island, that's probably not something you want your 5-year-old to play. Whereas it has like My Magical Friendship Horse Thing, that's a good game for kids to play. And if you're like 13 and your well-meaning parent got you that, my condolences, because happened to me once, multiple occasions. You know, well-meaning friends and family member friends. You know, they like say it's the coolest game ever, and it's just like really, really unplayable. They have a knack for getting you the unplayable games. Man, just overprotection, like paranoia, just kills things. I'm not saying I'm not paranoid. I mean, I have issues myself, but just the fact that people, like parents back then, and parents now, they'll believe like My Little Pony is Satan. You know, I'm not saying it is. I mean, I've never personally watched the show, and I can't say, you know, I care for it since I haven't watched it. But I mean, to each their own. But if a parent's gonna watch that and say, "Oh my God, that purple one is Satan," or the people, you know, the parents that, you know, view anime as the devil. I mean, I think it stems from their own, you know, preconceived notions of, you know, people. Like, you know, they might be holding on to some stuff that happened 50 years ago. But it's just their preconceived notion that, hey, anime is the devil and it's stealing children's souls away. Well, it can be all-consuming. It's not like, you know, there's a line that most of us draw, like, I'm not gonna dress up as a random anime guy and go swing a sword, you know. I just can't wrap my head around it at the end of the day. How parents can be that overprotective. I mean, I know your kid is your most precious treasure. I'm not drunk, I promise. It's too early. But I know how your kids are your most, you know, beloved treasure, and you do anything to protect them. But at the end of the day, I don't think you can. I mean, they're going to learn the truth one way or the other, and it's all about how you introduce it. I mean, like I said earlier, if you're going to out and out just take it away, they are going to rebel hardcore, and they're going to make life choices that I think could have been avoidable. And here's the thing, it kind of reflects on you, the parent. I mean, they say we are a reflection of our parents, and where they end up is also on you, you know, so I think my whole key note, or my key point in this spiel is, like, moderation, man, moderation. Like, don't just out and out ban stuff. Like, keep an open mind, and don't forget, if you got to do something, believe in yourself. Kudos if you get the reference. That was a good song, man. Seriously, those games had great music, really. Maybe. Well, I think that's about it for this rant. So, keynotes, parents can be overprotective, but, you know, for kids, don't go too rebellious. They mean well, and, you know, as much as we'd like to believe they don't know what the heck they're talking about, 9 times out of 10 they do. You know, I even have a hard time admitting this, but, you know, they do have our best interests at heart, even though it doesn't seem that way. And for parents, ease up a little, you know. I'm not saying, like, give them drugs and let them go party, but, you know, let them watch Ninja Turtles. Well, not the current gen Ninja Turtles. I mean, the old school Ninja Turtles, they were, like, way better. I mean, 85, and, you know, the one in the 90s, like, mid-90s, early 2000s, I think was good, too. But, you know, yeah, don't kill stuff for them, you know. Like, let them find out, and let them watch the cool stuff, you know. And Barney is not the devil, although, you know, I've seen a recent episode. I mean, I used to love that guy. It's fantastic. I just love that show. I mean, I'm secure in my masculinity to say, hey, I loved Barney. He was a heck of a mascot. What was I saying? Oh yeah, let us watch Barney. You know, don't deprive us, or else we'll go bad. And kids, if you do go bad, don't go too bad, because, like I said, prison's an ugly place. Well, folks, that's about it for me. If you like this, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. I promise you a new social media campaign coming soon, and I will take the place by storm. If you have any questions, leave them in the aforementioned links, and I will get back to you. Alright, folks, Tux Martini signing out. Cheers. Just put your feet into a kid's shoes, even though that would be really difficult and painful, especially if you have, like, size 14s.